I hit go. Oh, shit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fig Night at the Tavern. I am the OG Fig Kid, Thomas Montato. Joining me, as usual,
good old Mike Belcaster.
Yes, and Sneed is MIA.
Sneed's on a sabbatical.
Maybe he's still with Isaac Yankum. But
yeah,
thank you guys for joining us. We do have an amazing guest joining us in just a little bit. But before we get to that, you know, Fig Night is a podcast, so if you want to listen to it, check us out Saturday morning, the Turnbuckle Tavern feed. It'll be there. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media, all over Facebook, Twitch, everywhere. Follow us, like us, rate, review. Leave us a review, 5-star review. Send us a screen cap. You'll get some free stickers, which is so awesome.
Just sent out Austin's.
Yeah, Austin's stickers are on the way.
In the mail.
I didn't get my stickers yet, but that's okay. I know how Stony McGee feels now.
Yeah.
But yes, if you rate and review now and you send us a screen cap, you'll be getting some. You'll be entered into all of our contests. If you follow us on YouTube, when we get to 600, 700, 800, 900, and 1,000 subscribers, there'll be giveaway at each level. So the sooner you get in, the more chances you have to win, because if you get in now, you get the chance at 600, 700, 800, 900, and 1,000, and so on. Also, when
just to show that the OG Fig Kid's not playing games, I didn't win a giveaway, but look what he sent me for being a good friend.
He's a good friend.
Brick breaker.
See, people want it. That's why you should be my friend. You never know what you get in the mail.
Exactly.
So make sure you do that. And for all of our links, theturnbuckletavern.com. turnbuckletavern.com. Mike, what do you say we get right into the news? Let's get started.
Let's do it.
What's up first?
We have the video prompt first and foremost.
Oh,
don't forget that, buddy.
I'm just ready.
So catchy. Just sitting here jamming. Yeah, it's fun. Well, let's start off. It is the annual Ringside Collectibles Thanksgiving sale going on right now over at ringsidecollectibles.com, where you can also use code Tavern to save an additional 10% on all of your purchases down at Ringside Collectibles. So they're doing sale prices, and you could use the code. It's going to be crazy. Look at that. Boom.
That's right. Awesome. Use the code Tavern, save 10%.
And everything with their sale prices, you're going to save buckets of ducats.
Yeah, and what better time to save money than at Christmas time when you're buying everybody gifts, and maybe you want to buy something for the OG Fig Kid or Mike Belcaster and send a gift. You never know. Yeah, so make sure you check that sale out.
Absolutely. Good friends over at Ringside Collectibles. Next on the list, big surprise this afternoon, this morning, WWE Legends 13 is now available for pre-order.
I got mine
everywhere. I did not get mine in, but I'll probably be able to find the Hurricane over at on store time, so that'll be fun. But you got awesome stuff. We got Hurricane Helms, Triple H, Bob Orton, and Jake Roberts.
Yeah, Bob Orton also comes with the removable cast. I love that.
Yes, and there's a Chase Jake Roberts from his WCW run, which is wow.
I can't wait. I love all the Chase WCW versions of figures, Ricky Steamboat, and
I'm loving it too, man. It's great.
I love
Super
it.
awesome stuff,
just
man.
Picking up their game as usual.
Yeah, they're killing it, man.
Awesome stuff. All right.
Next on the list, we have AEW Match Series 2 and Britt Baker Blood and Guts reveals from Full Gear weekend. It was awesome. Those are the 2-packs. Those are also awesome, and we'll talk about those in a minute.
Oh,
but it's cool.
I'm hitting the wrong buttons here. Let's show Britt Baker
okay.
instead.
Shake it out. Shake it out.
I wish these would be in alphabetical order. Here we go.
Yes, it was a cluster of photos. Look at that beautiful, beautiful blood and guts Britt Baker.
Look at the shirt. She's even wearing the shirt. Wait a minute. How was she wearing the shirt from that night?
Because that's the fun of post.
So it's a 2-in-1 figure, actually, because you can use this head and it could be afterwards.
Absolutely. And you can throw that shirt on any of your Britt Baker figures.
Or any of your other figures.
Yeah. Who doesn't love Britt Baker? When that CM Punk figure comes out, you're going to want to put him in the Britt Baker shirt.
We know Adam Cole loves her.
Adam Cole does love her. Tony Schiavone also loves her.
Yes.
Some heat there. But the packaging on that Britt Baker figure is amazing. Done by our good friend Chris Metzger of Jazzwares. So awesome. A nice little throwback
out of the park with all of his
with his designs. Yeah, but it was a little throwback to the WCW Toy Biz figures. It's got the ring ropes and the posts and turnbuckles on it.
That they're keeping up with the blood and guts line. Like,
yes,
so awesome.
We love it.
And this is the first woman's bloody figure
that
I've ever seen. So
also, I think ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so historic. So make sure you guys go pre-order that. That's up right now.
My pre-order's already in. Use code Tavern, save 10%.
I did. And then we had AEW Unmatched Series 2 was revealed.
Ooh.
And my goodness, it looks fantastic. We got a
amazing.
Stellar lineup. Look at Tay Conte.
The first ever Tay Conte figure after that great match she had this weekend at Full Gear. Can't wait. I love how they even got her expression with the little crooked smile she does.
Yeah.
What an awesome figure.
I love the metallic paint job on her gear. That's something that Jazzwares really excels at. So I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see it in person.
Oh, you confused me. I'm like, the Mattel paint job.
Metallic. Not Grand Metalique, but metallic.
So then we got, here we go. The MJF Rare. Right, that's in this set. Yeah.
Yes. I'm so excited.
This is so cool.
He's got the proud and powerful logo on the back of his trunks. This qualifies as an awesome rare figure. I'm so pumped. I hope I can get my hands on one of these.
I hope so too. If I find one, Mike, you never know what I send you in the mail.
I'm looking forward to it.
Here's the regular MJF from the set, like with a robe.
Beautiful,
absolutely
stunning. MJF has actually turned out to be one of the most toyetic guys in the roster.
Yeah.
Every time he comes out with new gear, he comes out with new robes. You know, he's got a good character there. It's awesome.
I also have Series 2 pre-ordered, so I can't wait for that. If
did you use code Tavern?
Of course, I use code Tavern.
Okay, just making
sure. When my wife was ordering stuff for Christmas, I'm like, hey, make sure you use code Tavern, save 10%.
You don't want to miss out. Look at
Wardlow, first ever Wardlow figure.
Looking jacked and stacked.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love also shout out to our good friend Matthew Goldberg. These are his photos. Great killer job with the photos as usual. Follow him on Instagram at mbg1211.
There you go.
Yeah. Just throwing it out.
It's a mouthful.
Great fake photographer.
Look how awesome Wardlow looks. Can't wait to have him recreate that beautiful steel cage match between him and Cody.
These unmatched sets are just such magic.
Yeah. Did you say magic?
I said, well, yeah, they're magic. Look how awesome this looks.
It's Sting! Super excited for this.
This is the regular version. We've got 3 versions of Sting coming.
We do have 3 versions of Stings. That was a good point out there. This thing looks fantastic. Can't wait to get it.
Then there's also the Chase Sting. Let's show you guys the Chase Sting. And it's the main difference between the Chase Sting and the regular Sting is the shirts, right?
Yes, just the shirt. So you're not if you're one of these obsessed collectors like I am, you do not need to necessarily hunt down both of these. Yeah. If you're me, you will, or if you're like me, you will. But
if you're a degen collectors like us, you will.
Yes.
But the detail on his jacket, I love this figure.
Yeah,
looks like an amazing Sting finger. The face, so good.
Yeah, great detail everywhere. The gold design on the coat looks fantastic. Good, just touch of everything here. I mean, I cannot wait to get these guys in my collection.
And then
fantastic.
And then we also have the Sting Walmart exclusive, which is I guess I thought I had that picture here. I guess I don't. But here's the picture of the Sting box. Look how sweet that looks. The first of the luminaries. The very first of the luminaries. Really, really cool.
Yes, with that pearlescent
even though this doesn't
design.
quite count as a luminaries figure because it's current Sting.
I mean, hey, luminaries could be whatever you want it to be. I think this is fantastic.
Just some awesome figures. I can't wait to get them.
Yeah, the box detail looks fantastic. I love how they switch up the boxes. There he is. The Rodent. Woo! We missed you,
Mr. Sneed.
Welcome back.
Sorry for my tardiness. Sorry.
Did you just get back from the dentist?
Not today. No.
Isaac Yankum?
He had the feet and a crow. It's okay.
I do. That's right. So I do have another dentist appointment soon, though.
Hopefully you're going with Dr. DMD this time, and not.
Hey, I lived in Florida. She practiced in the town I lived in.
Did you really?
There you go.
She did. Yep.
Why'd she have to practice? She didn't know it very well.
Oh, come! This is what I come on for.
That's like a honeymoon joke. Remember Ed Norton saying that to Ralph? Do you guys not know the honeymooners?
I remember the honeymooners. Why'd you shut Ortiz off? Put Ortiz back up there.
I just closed them out.
We didn't even talk about it.
Santana.
You're going Santana. You're playing favorites. Okay. Look at this beautiful Santana.
Yeah.
Rocking the camo with the orange on the overalls. Yeah. Super awesome, man. Closed fists. Great facial expression with them screaming. I can't wait. We need more Santana and Ortiz figures. Talk about toyetic dudes, man.
We need a dead president face paint, don't we?
Yeah. When are we going to get the dead presidents?
I bet you it's coming.
I wonder why we haven't got that yet, or even as a chase.
That would make an awesome
Chase
Ringside Collectibles exclusive.
Ooh,
yeah,
I'd pop for that.
Okay, so that's all for Unmatched. What do we got next on the list, Mr. Mike Belcaster?
So moving on, the AEW 2-packs are back up for sale again on Amazon.com.
Yeah.
So if you missed out on the original pre-orders, or you've been waiting, you only got one, or you got two in the mail.
Now these are a total repaint. Are these just a repaint?
These are absolute repaints, but they look so much brighter and way more colorful. They got red decor on their tights.
I might have to go order this.
Yeah, no, they look great. Kazarian's coat is completely painted different. It's super cool, man. They come with the AEW tag titles, 2 microphones, 2 sets of extra hands. What more can you want? And these 2-packs are awesome, especially if you missed out on the original line. Super good. Yeah, so I just got my Darby and Mox ones in the mail, and those are fantastic. So I cannot wait to pop one open and play around with them, have some fun. They look great.
Which one do you have, Mike?
I just got Mox and Darby Allin 2-pack.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So the paint jobs are a little cleaner too. Like Mox's hair looks better.
Oh, really?
So it's worth the pickup if you're a Mox loose collector.
I'm gonna have to.
Tom, I got you. I might have an extra one. I might even have one to throw away for a giveaway here.
Whoa.
So we'll think about that. You know.
Big news.
You never know.
So moving on from the 2-packs, the AEW Accessory Pack 2, the pop-up entrance, and Unrivaled Series 8 are available now to pre-order at ringside.com. Use code Tavern, of course. The accessory pack sounds very awesome. You're getting a ladder, a table, a chair, and then I believe you're getting the unofficial Cracker Barrel barrel. So that's going to be super awesome. And then, boom, we're a couple of best friends here, aren't we?
We're all best friends at the Tavern.
Unrivaled Series 8 is featuring the best friends. You got Trent. You got Orange Cassidy. You got Chris Statlander, Tom's favorite female wrestler from AEW.
I love Chris Statlander.
We got Chuck Taylor, and then we got Mox, and of course a little bit of the Jericho, the champion. So I'm excited. I already pre-ordered these. I can't wait. All we're missing is Sue's van.
And I wonder, Jeremy kind of dropped a hint this week on Twitter if you follow him.
Yes. A van, a golf cart, and what was the third one, Tom?
The van, a golf cart, and something else.
I missed it. All right, fair enough. Good stuff, though.
I'll look that up. Yeah, I think I saved it.
Sneed's got our back.
I think I saved the tweet.
So good
What?
stuff. If you're an AW fan, rock it out. Use code Tavern for your pre-orders. Next on the list, Zombie Sailor has teased a Danhausen Heels and Faces Black Friday pre-order.
And look
Ooh, very
at the
evil.
artwork on this figure. Man, I
The
gotta
horse.
say, I'm not a huge Hasbro type figure collector, but between this figure and I'll show you the King Kong Bundy figure he showed.
I couldn't find the
Yes.
tweet, but Daniel had it.
It's a horse. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't mean to click
Oh,
that
a
off.
horse.
Thank you, Mr. Friedman, our good buddy over at Squared Circle.
Look
Or
at this King
Squared
Kong
Circle.
Bundy. Look at the detail on this King Kong Bundy.
Yes.
Holy smokes.
I love the video that they had it when he had it on the turntable.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks so awesome.
Zombie Sailor is killing it. So we are excited to see the line. They should be shipping first quarter of the year for Series 1.
And you might want to pay attention to Zombie Sailor's social media come Black Friday.
Yes.
So
It might be very nice. Might be
that's
very
when
evil.
Danhausen's will be dropping.
We're trying to fix a very evil leg break for Danhausen. So
Yes.
you need all the monies. All the monies.
Support him.
Yes. And last but not least, speaking of Daniel Friedman and Squared Circle Toys, Ringside Chaos posted up a nice picture of the scale of their figures for their Kickstarter project. So check it out. These are what, this is compared to a Mattel, which also compares to a Jazzware. So you're looking at the official scale here, and they look fantastic. You got your two refs, your security guards. I am so excited for these.
Yeah, I can't wait. You guys go out and back them. We have a couple weeks left. Let's
definitely back them. We got
make great Christmas presents for next year. If you order them now, you get them as gifts next year.
So
absolutely, you got to already start on your Christmas shopping for 2022.
Yeah,
how perfect is that?
You're not going to want to miss out on them for sure.
So, wow, guys! Without any further ado, we have a special guest with us. We have let's let him into the room. And we're going to welcome Steve OZER to the show, the Global Brand Marketing Manager from Mattel. How's it going, Steve?
It's going great. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Good.
Thank you.
Doing good. Yes.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. I believe you had asked me one other time and I couldn't make it, so I'm glad we're able to make it work this time. And before we jump into things, I just saw you talking about Squared Circle's Toys Kickstarter campaign, and I just want to reinforce how important it is that if you guys want figures like that, please support that Kickstarter. He's a great guy, Dan over there at Squared Circle Toys, and those are figures a lot of us have been asking for a long time. So I just want to really sing praises for Dan and make sure everybody knows about that Kickstarter.
Absolutely.
It's great. Let's talk a little bit about Crowdfunder Campaigns. We're a few months out now since the whole new gen arena. Let's go back to that day, Steve. What was it like for you guys following it that day? Were you all texting? Were you all on phone calls? That had to be a fun day.
I mean, it feels like years ago at this point, right? Because everything moved so quickly and that was such an intense time. But yeah, we were all, the core group of us who are, the mega fans and heart of the team were in constant communication. And then, the greater team as well was obviously looped in and following also. But, myself and both Bill McKenna and Bill Beneke, Rob, all of us just texting, every time we hit a new milestone, and what a roller coaster ride of a day, and I think we all shared that experience together as wrestling figure collectors. So it was really, really cool and something that I'd never seen happen ever before with this particular hobby.
Yeah, it was an amazing day because I remember, and I think I even messaged you in the morning, and I'm like, Steve, if it gets to this point by 4 p.m. Eastern, we're going to hit the ring skirt. And then it hit that point, and it just took off, and we were all texting. I was messaging with Sam Roberts. I was messaging with Mike, and it was just amazing. We got everything. I'm so excited. And, do you have any updates on how it's coming along? Have you heard anything?
Yeah, things are progressing. The next Elite Squad video, which is going to drop shortly, will have some small updates. The newest that we can show you, and I will say things really ramp up to where we're going to see some physical stuff towards the end of the process, right? That's kind of where, you know, we really see like physical samples and things are really fine tuned. Other than that, a lot of work is being done over in China in the meantime. So, you know, there will be updates throughout. But you know, when we hit the home stretch in those final months leading into it shipping, that's where you're going to see some more heavy updates.
Oh, I can't
Awesome.
wait. The day
Yeah.
I get it, I'm going live on here. I'm opening it. I'm building it right in front of everyone. The day it comes in. So
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. That's one of the, I think it's the most exciting thing I've ever looked forward to. I always wanted a ring like that. Just from the pictures, it was amazing to have it in hands. I
Yeah.
just can't wait. So did you guys learn a lot about the whole experience on how to fine tune it for next year? Is there going to be any differences when you announce whatever it may be next year?
Sure. I mean, you know, I'll be vague, right? Because that's what I have to do sometimes. But you know, if we were to do something like that again, and there's a good chance that we will, there were so many learnings coming out of this one because it was the first time, you know, the company had done something like that for action figures in quite some time. If you remember back in the day, Matty Collector, right? They had similar executions. The Masters Classics line was essentially crowdfunded, right? You had a meter every year and you had to max out that meter for the whole line to go forward. And then you had the Castle Grayskull and everything else. So it'd been quite some time, right? Since we had done something like that. And wrestling figure collectors are completely different than, you know, Motu collectors or other collectors. And this was something new for wrestling figure collectors also. So it was like, you know, a lot of education going on for both sides. So, I mean, lots of learnings, you know, price points, eras, incentives to buy in, you know, like the Randy Savage early bird. So, you know, we took all those learnings. We discussed, you know, like the core team had meetings, of course, and the larger teams as well. And we'll implement as much as we can the next time we do it to make it even smoother and even more successful.
It's so funny because looking back now, it's like how you crush the numbers and you almost forget the sweat that we went through those, you know, right up
Yeah.
until the end of the Macho Man pre-order. And it's like, oh man, we got this. So
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
exciting. I'm so
it was
excited.
a huge relief when we finally hit the green light point, right, of the minimum, and then everything else after that was just like holy smokes moments, you know, like unlocking Doink, unlocking the ring skirts, all that good stuff.
It was a roller coaster. It definitely was a roller coaster, but it was awesome. It felt like you were just, you know, you went up and then it was just going down, like, and it flew by.
Yep,
And I was so excited, man. Like I felt like a big part of the whole thing. Like it was really cool. It felt really good to be part of something like that.
We really did it together. Like legitimately, we did it together. You know, I know, you know, people have conspiracy theories about things and, you know, all that stuff, but it's like we were all sitting together at the same time, glued to our phones or computers or whatever, and like doing that in real time together. People were buying multiples, you know, like it was us making something happen. So so that we could keep doing things like this. Cause I mean, this, you know, consumer base, collector base, whatever you want to call it, like deserves stuff like this, the opportunity to get stuff like this. So, you know, we showed that, you know, it's viable and that we can keep exploring.
I can't
Absolutely.
wait to see what the future holds. And even with the whole new, what's the name of the Mattel site with the
Mattel Creations?
Yeah, Mattel Creations. That whole thing is exciting because you could offer us more rare items like the new line of retros coming out, the continued line. You don't have to worry about a store supporting it. It'll be right there. Like the opportunities are endless. It's what a great time to be a wrestling fan, and even better time to be a wrestling figure collector fan.
Yes, and a time to be broke from being a wrestling figure collector.
Yeah, I get that.
It catches up, you know.
Yeah.
Especially around the holidays.
These guys coming left and right. It's so exciting.
Yeah, Ultimates have taken off in popularity. Elites are doing, you know, outstandingly great. Retros will be back. You know, there'll be other things that you guys don't know about yet. And then there's the stuff everyone else is doing, right? Like that I buy into as well. And I'm sure you guys buy. I was watching, you know, before I joined. It's like we collect a lot of things. So, you know, one thing I want to say to people, like, sometimes we can get caught up on little details, like, okay, there's an error in the deco, or maybe a part choice isn't our favorite or whatever. Things happen, but like the sheer depth of offerings that there are right now across multiple companies and eras and everything else, like, this doesn't come around very often. It's been a long time since we've been in a position like this as wrestling figure collectors. So I hope everyone's enjoying the ride like I am.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you brought up a point I wanted to talk to you about, so it's a perfect segue. The Ultimate Edition Rockheads, you're replacing them. Like, you're listening, like the cane, you're fixing. There's going to be a way. Like, kudos to you guys for stepping up and saying, "Hey, we're listening, and we're going to do this to fix it for you guys," because I think that takes a lot for you guys to come out and do that. And being part of the community, it's like, wow, like you feel rewarded, like, hey, this is worth it because they listen to what they say and they're fixing it. Like, a lot of companies might just ignore it. So kudos to everybody over at Mattel for doing that. I know you said to wait, is there any update on how people will be able to submit, their requests for the replacement parts?
I don't have a time frame yet. I checked in this week, and the cane parts specifically are due to ship soon, right? So I don't want anyone to really, go to contact customer service just yet, because it's just going to be met with some, confusion and maybe frustration from a consumer standpoint. So just please, keep waiting. Once they're ready to go from a customer service standpoint, I'll post on the Ringside forums, and
We'll announce it here.
Yeah, I'll screen cap that and share it on social media. So just hang tight just a little bit longer. It takes a while sometimes to produce and ship things when you're working with partners in China.
And obviously, there'll be ways for the fans overseas to cash in and get that too.
I've been trying to clarify that. I think with the Rockheads currently, there's a few consumers who have reached out from the UK specifically. So I do want to see how they wound up being taken care of first. Obviously this is all new territory for us, right? It's like two kind of back-to-back sets of replacement parts. It's just a little bit more complicated because those figures weren't actually sold in the UK. Those international consumers had to purchase from the US, kind of like when I buy import figures from Japan.
Yeah,
some of the Marvel figures and whatnot. So it's kind of a similar situation. So trying to work through those things. I'm hoping that it's probably not going to be a lot, right? When you're talking about people who imported some Ultimate figures, overseas from the US. So we'll see if we can accommodate, trying to work through those kinks. And, we're obviously, like I said, learning as we're going, and this is all a little bit new.
Yeah. I mean, kudos for you guys for caring and really stepping up and offering that. I think like I said, as a collector, to see that you guys care, that's awesome.
Yeah, of course.
For sure. It makes you happy to collect because we see you guys putting effort into things. And like I said that about the new gen whole project, and I was like, I watching you guys with the incentives and like talking to the whole community and making sure we were updated on how things are going. Like that really just makes you feel comfortable buying the product and wanting to be a part of collecting that line or that company's product. And it's awesome to be a part of, man. So good stuff.
And you're giving us credit for listening. Thank you for that. Right. I do think a lot of toy professionals do listen, but one of the problems is it takes so long to impact the line, right? So you're talking about a year to 2 years before you can see something happen. So if you give me like a character request, like they might not make it in the line for a year or two, right? Even if I act immediately, right? So it might seem like nobody's being listened to, but I know for a fact that many in the industry, at my company and others, we do listen, but sometimes, some of these things takes a little while to actually put into action.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
This is kind of more of a personal thing that I want to know, but I know you are a Full Sail graduate.
Yes.
And I'm a Full Sail graduate as well. And I'd like to know what's your journey? What was your journey that took you to Full Sail, and what took you from Full Sail to the position that you're in now?
So I was working full time, at that point I had left the nest. I was living on my own. So I don't think like a traditional full-time student gig without being able to work full time was possible for me. So I needed a school that had some flexibility. And I wanted something very specific, right? I wanted to be involved in the entertainment industry. Obviously, to me, toys falls under that category. Obviously,
Absolutely.
WWE falls under that category. So, I wanted something where I could, be creative, have a great creative outlet in a career. So I did some research and eventually found locally, because I was living in Florida at the time, Full Sail. So I was able to keep going in my marketing manager position at Coca-Cola while finishing my education at Full Sail. Their entertainment business program was fantastic. Fortunately for me, like being a fan of things, I just already did a deep dive into, all the different entertainment companies and brands that I love to see how they worked inside and out. So I went in there, with a slight advantage. Like I wasn't just like a kid out of high school who I just liked, wrestling or movies or comic books, right? It's like I knew how the business worked inside and out as much as they shared publicly, right? So I was pretty successful in school. And then I just kind of moved around in Coca-Cola in marketing roles until I was able to get a position on the West Coast here. Obviously with, Mattel in mind as a main goal, but I would have, settled for something else like Warner Brothers or Disney or another toy company. I know Playmates is here locally as well as some others. But, I made the right connections. I networked. I represented myself well with the toy community and toy businesses, at various conventions. And I crossed paths with Dave Jackson, who he was at Mattel for quite some time. He came over to where I was working, Zico Coconut Water under Coca-Cola, and we connected. He went back to Mattel. We stayed in touch. And as he was on his way out for a new position somewhere else, he reached out to me to see if I still had interest in Mattel, and, got the ball rolling with interviews and whatnot. And, I guess I sold myself and they gave me a chance, and here we are. But it was really, it's a simplified story I just told, but lots of sacrifice and focus and really just like, had a main goal in mind, right? But with some flexibility, right? Like I had this in this area. If I got in this area, okay, to me, that's successful, right? Entertainment, toys, something like that. And I knew where I had to go to make it happen. And I talked to the right people and networked. And like I said, presented myself, as well as I could online. I was kind of a little bit known already on social media. And I think, sometimes we're in a weird, not to get off on too much of a tangent, but we're in a weird era of social media where negativity can prevail sometimes, right? And it's like that's going to follow us forever, right? And if you want opportunities in the future, like it's like you can share opinions even if they're negative in a way that's positively impactful. And I always tried to do that myself, I could be fair with my opinions on things without trashing. And I think that all helped at the end of the day. I was looked at by people in the industry with in a positive light, and then they vouched for me when the time came to give me an opportunity to get into the industry.
It's so important too. Like I always try to, when I critique something, I never try to bash it, even if there's something I don't like. I think it's so important not to be like, just if you don't like it, don't go out there and bash it. Or if there's someone you're not a fan of, like the internet's such a mean place sometimes. But
if
like
you got nothing nice to say, don't say it.
Exactly.
And you can say it to your buddy, right? If you really just want to have a good time and just like, poke fun at something. But, I don't know. I feel like it's counterproductive. You have a lot of people working hard, and sometimes things are out of people's hands, right? There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. And like I said, to my knowledge, a lot of people are listening, and a lot of people want the best, and a lot of people try to enact change and things for the better. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So everybody, like you're in such contact with the fans out there, the collectors, Twitter, Instagram, the message boards and stuff. Give us a little insight. What exactly does the global brand marketing manager do? Can you share a little with us?
I mean, me being in contact with the fans and collectors is just me and my hobby, right? Because I am a collector. So it's like me doing that is just, me continuing my hobby. That's not part of the job whatsoever. It's not my responsibility from a Mattel standpoint to be on the forums and answer questions. Like that's just me because I want to talk to other like-minded fans, right? And stay connected and see what's on their minds and see what they think of things. And I was always like that, pre-Mattel, because that's what interests me. My job is really to run the business, right? Run the business side of things, predominantly product development. So it's like I oversee the process. Obviously, we have great cross-functional partners with, our designers and our copywriters, packaging team, development team, like all that stuff, right? So I'm kind of the person who is coordinating between all those teams, creating the strategy for what our line will be, or helping craft that with our team, and then seeing the development from concept through on shelf through sell off or sell through at retail. So really just overseeing the entire process and making sure we're hitting our business targets, and that everything is coming in a timely fashion, like the whole 9 yards. So handling the business side of things is my main job at Mattel.
Wow.
Cool.
So you're basically running the whole show. It's like you're the manager, you're the GM.
Well, I do have specific lines that I manage, right? Like
Yeah.
I can't take credit. We have a great team. I have great partners who oversee the other lines, but it is very collaborative, and we all help each other, and we all collaborate. And you see, our little bits of our personalities in everything we do, even if it's not our particular managed line.
It's awesome. Like I don't even know. I don't collect anything else besides wrestling, so I don't even know if other toy collectors for other Marvel, if they're lucky to have guys like you who reach out to them and stuff. I know you just said you do it because you enjoy it. Like it's just amazing. I feel like it makes our community that much stronger. And even Jeremy, with AEW is talking to people. Like it's an awesome community, and one I'm proud to be a part of for sure.
Yeah, Jeremy is fantastic, and he obviously set the bar as far as wrestling figures go. But there's always been a few people here and there that have been really good about it. Ken Lilly, back in the Palisades days, he was active on the message boards, and Palisades did like the Muppets toys and Ren and Stimpy and Adult Swim, and a bunch of other great lines back in the day. And he was someone else I looked up to. So there's been quite a few who have been active within the community and knew the importance of that. So it's my honor to carry on that tradition of being someone in the industry who has an openness to other collectors.
That's awesome. Yeah.
How much do you feel the Major Wrestling Figure podcast has impacted the wrestling figure community?
I think they brought in a lot of casual collectors. Personally, I think they've expanded that greatly, because I am active in their Facebook group as well, and you do see a lot of people who were inactive for a long time, or maybe just like never were collectors as adults, and they're on board now, right? So for whatever reason that they jumped on board listening to the podcast and signing up for their Patreon and getting to the whole thing, regarding what those guys are doing over there. It's a large group of people who probably wouldn't be collecting otherwise, right? I think you always have your baseline of collectors for whatever brand you're talking about, and like you're probably never going to go beneath that. But this added another additional layer on top of that, on top of the casual parents as well. So it's like all those extra layers just make the business and the hobby even more successful. So they added a nice chunk to it. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome to be able to be in touch with other wrestling figure fans, because in our everyday life, it might be hard to meet them, but now we've made real friends, me and Mike and Sophie and Sneed. That's why I met Sneed. We started the podcast. It's just been an amazing experience, all thanks to that for us. So it's amazing.
It's a great community, and to hear it actually expands like the points of view on things as well, right? Because if you're catering to one, let's talk about the Ringside forums as an example, right? There's a lot of very specific types of collectors on that forum. Then you move over to the major podcast group. and things are a little bit different. Like their view on collecting and what they want is a little bit different. And then you look on other Facebook groups, and all the different groups might have specifics of what they think. And like you kind of get a like-mindedness too of the people that you're talking to, right? So you see a lot of like repeated comments and stuff. So, it is very cool to be able to interact across all these different, platforms and social media, types and everything, because it just expands like what you would want to offer like the consumer from my point of view, right? Like it's easy to get narrow mind and be like, oh, well, Legends only is the way to go. Well, no, you need something for the kids, and you need something for people really love this era, like, or people really love, what's happening in the women's division. There's a huge contingent of women only wrestling figure collectors, right? So it's like by not just visiting one area to talk to people or read what they're saying, like your horizons are expanded so much more.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Yeah, I can totally understand.
You have to keep your finger on a pulse of all the groups, but it's kind of like a sneak peek you have into seeing what people like and what they don't like, and that's pretty amazing. Like, it's, like you said, as bad as the internet could be, there's also some great things about it.
Oh yeah, of course, and it's interesting because sometimes like I know exactly how people are going to react, good or bad, before like images debut. I'm like, well, they'll say this, but what are we going to do? Because X, Y, and Z people wanted this to happen, so it's always interesting.
Yeah,
I'm loving every Hulk Hogan figure that comes out. I can't wait to get that Wrestlemania basic.
Well, that was another interesting thing recently, because we had a reveal of the new Ultimate Edition Hulk Hogan figure a couple weeks ago. And on the Ringside forums there was like a revolt of like why so many Hulk Hogan figures, and like a lot of angry people. But then just a few months ago, we had a set of reveals. Maybe it was Access or something. I don't remember what it was. And there were like no Hulk Hogan reveals. And they were all upset. Oh, why aren't there Hulk Hogan reveals? What's going on here? So it's really funny.
I'm so excited to get that version of the WWF title that he had back from WrestleMania 1. Because when as a kid, that's the title I remember him holding. And to actually get that into my figure collection, holy smokes, I pop for that. I'm so happy to get that. And to get that WrestleMania 1 Hogan and Mr. T. Like, it's amazing. Like, what a time. What a time.
I love that you guys are deep diving more on like stuff like that. And like even like with the WCW microphones or the titles or the like the Cactus Jack that just came out with the ECW tag titles. Like, it's so great. And like for me, I love that era. ECW Attitude Era, WCW Nitro, just being all showcased and like finally starting to see little things like that. Like it makes me so happy. Like I was like, oh, I have to get that Scott Hall. Oh, now I have to get that Kevin Nash because it goes with the Scott Hall. So it all piggybacks off each other, and you're just like, all right, now I need everything.
It really is amazing to think that, from a Mattel standpoint alone, it's been over 10 years of action figures, right? From every era of WWE and, all the companies associated with WWE, like WCW and ECW. And there's still so much that hasn't even been like touched yet. Like the surface has barely been scratched. And it's kind of cool because, obviously I got into this brand, working here a little bit later, right? But it's like, it's still super fresh because all the things that I ever wanted, like I'm able to like make them happen now, right? It's like because there's just so much to pull from. There's so much great source material to pull from.
Yeah, it's great. We're finally getting the Goon. I'm so excited about the Goon.
Yeah, if we can, if there's a deal in place and we're going to probably make the figure. There's a 99.9% chance we'll make the figure.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I always laugh when you do the question and answers and people are like, how about this guy? How about that guy? And it's all guys, if you had the rights to, we know you'd be making them.
Of course.
You kind of know who the people want, being a fan yourself. It's not like you don't know. So.
Yeah, I think the most important thing there to do those, even though it can get repetitive, is it's nice to be heard, right, from a fan's point of view and a collector point of view. And like by me doing those, it's like they know that I'm listening and that the message got to me. And if there's something that I can do about it, of course, I will. So I think that's more important. I think don't forget about it. Don't get upset if you're hearing repetitive answers or whatever, right? It's like you have an opportunity to say to me, hey, I want Legion of Doom back in the line. And I'm like, got it, loud and clear, me too. So it's cool. It's cool. It's like, don't get hung up on same answers and stuff like that. It is what it is. If we can make them, we're gonna want to make you happy and make these figures.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love the new Pipers, Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
still haven't found a Hollywood one yet. I can't wait. I've seen the Hollywood. I got the Rock and Cena. I need the Piper. I'm there, Piper. Hopefully one day a Piper Ultimate Edition. That's my dream. With
I
the
hope so.
bagpipes and the coconut in there.
He's deserving. He's very deserving.
Oh yeah, I think he'll be in a
super
line
cool.
discussing one day. You don't get much bigger than a name, Roddy Piper. And if we got the main event from WrestleMania 1 with Hogan and Mr. T, you never know. You never know.
We're trying to find creative ways to do things, right? I think you saw with the new Gen Arena, we figured out a way to get an Ultimate Doink out there. So, we'll do what we can. Like I'm opportunistic with our slots. It's a toy is called a slot, and you fill the slot with a character or a specific toy, right? So it's like if there's a slot available under a certain set of circumstances, I have my Rolodex of ideas, whether they're my own or things that I've heard you guys requesting, and I like pull it out and I'm like, here we go, we got something for this slot. I'm always like right on it as soon as there's something that's coming out early next year, and it's like I was waiting for the moment to make it happen. I know people are like, why don't you just make X, Y, and Z item? It's like, it's not that easy. There has to be a purpose behind it, a home at retail or a home online, a specific reason. But I know the items that you want. I'm just waiting for those slot opportunities. And I'm like, aha, now this is going here. It's happening.
Cool. What is it? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I love like even like with the little things like the backdrops that are coming in the Ringside exclusives now. Like that ECW one with Cactus Jack is so cool. It's
That's
just
amazing.
something random I never thought I would have as a collector, and I'm like, yes, this is great. And like it's cool to start seeing these things. And like even with the John Cena where you have the little Nitro pop out, like it's is it a full stage? No, but it's enough for us to be happy,
Yeah,
it's just like,
yeah,
man. Like I'm taking that. That's cool.
And even if it's not something you save, just the fact that it's an element of the package, and if you toss the package, it's still cool to see it. It makes you feel something. So, I love that stuff too. And our packaging team is out of this world great. Obviously, we see what they do for Comic-Con where they get to flex their muscles, but
Yes.
on a daily basis, they're making magic happen.
Yeah, I was so excited with the Cactus Jack backdrop, something like that. And I think, what is it? Tommaso Ciampa's having one also, right?
Yeah, all those
So-
Ringside elite figures have a trifold backdrop, so
That's
we're gonna
so
try to
cool.
keep that going.
Absolutely
Yeah.
love it, man.
I love that. Like for fig photography, it's awesome.
Yeah.
For playing, it's awesome. It's so many uses. And if you don't like it, then you don't. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. But at least it's there for those who do want to use it. And it's just
And-
such a simple thing.
And I think that was born out of, remember the flashback series at Walmart? They had the blue WWE repeated logo background,
love
right?
that.
And that was straight out of the old, promos that Mean Gene would shoot, and other announcer personalities with talent back in the day.
Yeah.
So, I think if memory serves me correctly, we were thinking about that and like just expanding upon that idea, right? Because a lot of people save that flashback backdrop, and we're
I gotta
doing
stack
action
them.
figure. Yeah, right. They were doing action figure photography with them, or just displaying in front of the blue backdrop. So, how do we plus that up and make it better? And I think we landed on that trifold backdrop idea.
It's
I love
awesome,
it.
man. It's just like it's like finding a prize at the bottom of the cereal. You're
Right.
like, oh, sweet! Like I got something
Yeah.
cool to do and play with and keep with the figure. Like I love that.
I also love the Ultimate Editions. Now we're getting Amazon exclusives. We're
Yeah.
getting the the Legends are going exclusively to Target with Batista.
Yep.
And that line. I'm so like, just give me all the Ultimate Editions. I feel
Yeah.
like Danhausen. Give me them all.
Yeah, the line's really gone to another level with popularity, especially lately. So to me, that's my baby, that line. That's something that Bill and I created together when I first started at Mattel. So I love that it's thriving now. And that's another thing where, if I see an opportunity that an expansion of Ultimate Edition makes sense, that's something I push for, which is why it kind of evolved. Fan Takeover evolved at Amazon into Ultimate Edition. And there was an opportunity at Target. They wanted something else. And it's like, okay, well, they have Legends. So let's expand Legends and give them, Ultimate Legends. So it's just like, seizing those opportunities when they come along. And Ultimates really makes sense at the moment.
Has the packaging of the Legends Elite Ultimate Edition's been shown yet?
No. So the structure is going to be the same. There'll just be some graphical, changes to tie in better to Legends. But as far as lining them up on your shelf, like I have behind me, you'll still be able to do that. It'll be pretty seamless.
Well, that's awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
I
fell in love with the Ultimates line. Like I started buying. I remember I picked up Warrior and Rousey, and I was like, oh, these are so cool. Like it adds just a difference. You appreciate it as a collector. All the different articulation on them, the toe bends and stuff like that. Like it's just really cool. And then you get so much extra accessories. Like it's just the detail on Warrior's coat was awesome. And like I went crazy. I bought every single one of them. The only two I'm missing is Brett and Becky because they're like $300 now in the aftermarket. But it's such a solid line. So like so many good character selections. Like I absolutely love it.
And I can't believe, it's like I'm doing work now, obviously way ahead. And I mean, the line is going to pass like 20 series, which is wild, right? And no sign of stopping. And it's just crazy to think like, the older lines that were kind of in this slot, so to speak, right? Defining Moments and entrance greats, they never really had the legs that this line seemingly has. So it's kind of, humbling, right? That an idea that, Bill and I put our heads together, we came up with this and it's just like thriving now. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the new joints on the butterfly joints. Absolutely.
The arms
amazing.
come out. It's so awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you want Edge's jacket on Randy Savage, you can do that.
Do you have a favorite Ultimate Edition out of the ones that we've seen so far? What is your favorite?
It's tough because they all have different meanings, right? Obviously, the first two are very meaningful. Ronda's great because of her posable entrance gear, right?
Yeah.
And that was one of the ideas behind the line, is to have fully posable entrance gear. The Warrior is fantastic. That first Warrior. Hogan's very special because I was the person who spearheaded Hogan's return to our line. So that figure, coming out means a lot to me. And I grew up a huge Hulk Hogan fan as a kid. The Brock Lesnar figure, while I do, I'm a fan of Brock, but on paper it wasn't my favorite, like, in theory execution. Just like seeing Brock Lesnar, okay, Brock Lesnar Ultimate Edition, cool, I'll buy it, I need this in my collection. But in hand, it's really one of my favorite figures because it's like a huge guy with the extra articulation, the double jointed elbows, and the facial expressions are fantastic on it. So that Brock is actually, while we developed it, I didn't think it would be a favorite of mine, turned out to be a huge favorite of mine. And I really do love the Amazon Rock Ultimate as well. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one.
No, that Brock Lesnar. I opened it. We did a whole Ultimates episode, and I opened up all my Ultimates that I had saved up, for the last year. And when I got the Brock, I spent like 10 minutes on him. I was like, this thing's beautiful, man.
And I compare it to the new Marvel Legends Hulk figures. I love them. They're gigantic, the articulation's fantastic on them. And it's like that Brock is like our version of like the Marvel Legends Hulk.
It's heavy, man.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Like I said, luckily I was all in on the Ultimate Editions from the very beginning. So I have
They've really skyrocketed. Yeah.
They do. And all mine are still closed and I just can't open them now. That's why I started buying duplicates and I knew to do it from the beginning and I didn't. But like when I open them, like you don't even get the appreciation until you hold them in hand, like the actual figure. But it's so torn. Like, do I keep them closed or do I open them? But the beautiful thing is, like, if you really want to open it and you're careful, you can put it right back in the way it was.
Yep.
Like the packaging is so awesome for that, which is like amazing. So,
and that was the intention, right? We wanted it. It's like pizza box style, or shoebox style. We wanted that ability to retain packaging because we knew there'd be like high piece count here. So I'm glad most people, learned about that and jumped on board and are aware and take advantage of that I guess reusable / savable packaging.
Can't wait to see the packaging on a new gen ring,
Yeah.
because as it was said during the time, it's going to be the same way that you'll be able to pack it up if you want to. So
Right. I
and
think that's
I
important. It's for such a large item, right? Like
yeah.
if you need to scoot it away somewhere, like, I get it. You can't always have something massive, a whole arena on display in your house, basically. So you'll be able to box it up fairly easily.
I guess not everybody's like me. I actually have a custom table that was built for a ring display. So I know the ring I have on there now is coming off, and that new gen arena will be proudly displayed on that table. I might
Yes, I love it.
have another table made eventually so I can have 2 different rings set up. So as I'm expanding, like when I bought my house and I saw the basement, I fell in love with the house just because I could vision where I wanted my tables. I said to my wife,
Yeah.
"You get upstairs, you can do anything you want up here, and the basement's all mine." So,
I do miss having basements. It's just not possible in California. It wasn't possible in Florida, but when I lived in the Northeast, in the Philly area, it's like that was like the eventual goal is to get a place with a basement, right? And it's like your whole every toy you own on display. And I think I've long given up on that possibility now.
I can't have. I have a whole room in my basement that's just storage, and it's like probably like what Toys R Us look like in the back.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I just get so happy walking in there because there's my shelf with all my ultimates. There's this, and it's just crazy. Steve, okay, so let's move on. We're gonna do our toys in the attic segment now.
All right.
Let's move on to toys in the attic. All right, so who has a toy that they would like to share that they found in their attic?
Should I start?
Yeah,
Mike, do you want to start? So I was torn. I actually have a bin of my old Hasbro figures over here, but there was some stuff on it, and I was feeling lazy. But then I spotted this favorite of mine.
Wow.
This Sting set, the evolution of Sting from the Toy Biz days that my good buddy David Vonner worked on. So, I mean, this was incredible because at the time, if you think about it, there wasn't much flashback or Legends type merchandise, right?
Yeah.
So I think Jax had done maybe those Ripped and Ruthless style Legends of like Andre and Freddie Blassie. And then, Toy Biz came out with this beauty. And I was just like smitten, just the idea that a modern toy company was doing like, throwback figures. Like it was unheard of in everything, like not just wrestling, but all across the board. Like you didn't see anything like this. So it's like those guys who thought of this item and who thought of those Ripped and Ruthless figures were way ahead of their time, because now like, the business is like kind of, a huge portion is built on Legends and nostalgia. Not even just wrestling, but everything, the nostalgia is such an important factor. So that thing, I'm never getting rid of that.
Oh, it's a beautiful
amazing
piece, man. Yeah. It's one of my favorite toy releases
seen that
ever.
before. Do you have that, Mike?
Yeah, I have them loose. I opened it years ago, but I still have them all nice minty, sitting in a little tub in the basement. Most of my toys get tubbed.
The Mattel Undertaker set that I have from, I think that was a Toys R Us exclusive.
Yeah,
so,
that was fun.
No, that's awesome, man.
That.
I absolutely love that thing.
What do you have?
You want me to go? So this is not so much a toy. It is a merchandise piece, but I didn't buy it. But hold on, let me get my little buddy out here. This is a ring-worn, tossed to the crowd, caught by Mr. Sacco. Foley had this on his foot.
Oh, a foot version.
Yeah, it was a foot version. See,
that's probably better. That's probably better.
It's held up over the years, but I met him a few years back and I had him sign it. But he used it on, it was rather Stone Cold or Triple H. I want to say it was Triple H, and it was at a house show. But I was one of them. It was like third row. He threw it out afterwards, and I was the lucky kid that caught it. But it's awesome. He was like, "Where the hell did you get this from?"
He could instantly tell that it was one of the originals. Like,
yeah, like it's got. You can see there's. Let me change my lighting real quick. Actually, we got the Loom Cube right here. Quick plug the Loom Cube for being so awesome. it's a little stainy and like it looks like it was on somebody's foot, you know. So he must have worn it like all day. And he's just like, yeah, I'm really gonna work that stocking before I put it in Hunter's mouth. And like, he didn't even remember throwing it out. It was just a really cool thing. And when I met him, he's like, "Wow, man, that's filthy." And it's like, "That's gross." He's like, "I'm proud of that." So Mick's a good guy. I love Mick, man. But that's one of my fun treasured pieces. I got too many to fight with, but I really, really love that. I want to get like a mannequin hand to put it on one day and put it up in a glass piece.
They have wooden hands at IKEA, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're like upright like this. Yeah, like the Terminator hand.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. But yeah, man, I've had that since I was probably like 11, 12 years old, something like that. So
that's
cool.
Amazing. Wow, that's a cherished item.
Yeah,
that you have there. That's something I wouldn't leave in my attic.
No, I have a whole Tom's seen my house. He came up here for an AEW event, and
AEW or the AEW.
Well, a few, but that was one of the best ones. But Tom, I got the Hulk Hogan truck piece for when the NWO came, and it was at the Allstate Arena over here. But we were walking out of the parking lot, me and my dad, after the show, and the truck that Hogan was driving into the ambulance that The Rock was in, part of the piece was just laying there, and he worked for a trucking company. He was like, the piece was like, 9 feet long, and he just cracked off the part that had the truck logo on it. And I met Hogan. Hogan was like crying when he seen it. He's like, "Brother, where'd you get this from, man?" And it was a really cool moment. But I got it signed by him and Kevin Nash, and I want to get it signed by Scott Hall eventually. But it's just, that's like the ultimate piece you can get for a collection.
That's amazing. I love it.
That's all. Should we, Steve, you want to stick around for our Ask the Tavern segment of the show? We have a question that somebody sends in every week.
Sure.
So
yeah.
Let's
do it.
Ask the Tavern. All right, Mike, do you have the question?
Still sharing. I do. So this week's question comes from Jev P, and it's at Gleos78 on Twitter. And he said, "Is there a new WWE Elite Triple H with the WrestleMania 28 attire?" And I was stumped on this.
I'm going to cheat, right? Because my mind is full of things from the past and the future. Let me see.
Oh, I got it.
I need to jog my memory.
There's so many awesome WrestleMania Triple H figures.
And attires, too.
Yeah, and attires.
Yeah. So it's a stumper. And Mattel's already made so many good Triple H's, so it's like...
And, okay, 28. I mean, he just had his standard gear, right? Yeah.
Google it real quick.
So this is the Undertaker match, right?
Let's see. I got it coming up now too. WrestleMania 28.
Yes. End of the era. Is this the Hell in the Cell one?
Yes.
Okay.
I have no idea. I'm looking at the logo on his trunks. I can't remember. There's so many Triple H figures.
I want to say that this is a figure, though, because that trunk design looks too familiar.
It definitely looks familiar to me looking at it, but like it wasn't even one of his special WrestleMania gears. It just looks pretty.
That's why it's tough. That's why it's tough.
So he doesn't wear too much different stuff.
Oh, you know what? There is, because we have the Stephanie figure from that entrance. There definitely is.
Okay.
It came out right around the same time.
I see a basic of that. He came with an announcer table.
I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Maybe that's
anything that has an accessory in it, I buy it because for accessories.
So I don't think there's an Elite. I think there's just that one basic from a quick Google search here to refresh my memory. So
nice.
Yeah, but anyway, we do redo looks now, right? If there was an older basic or something and it's deserving of an Elite, so hey, maybe someday.
Yeah, you never know what the future has in tail for our wrestling figures. Steve, thank you so much for coming on tonight and joining us.
My pleasure.
This was a friggin' blast. I love it. You're welcome here anytime. We're here to support you guys. So we love our wrestling figures. Thank you guys for what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you guys for everything you do. You know, the support of the community is imperative to all of our success. You know, our company, any company, and you know, like I said, you know, you guys are doing magic in a magical time for our hobby. So let's have a good time now.
Yeah,
It's just a
absolutely.
passion we all share, so we
Yep.
bring it all together. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again for Fig Night at the Tavern. Until next Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Love, peace, and pro wrestling.